There's no use standing here. Gotta push towards that Sin base. I'm out of ammo, I'm out of medical supplies, and I have a good chunk of things I need to sell. Problem is, I just need to get there. In one piece, relatively speaking. Finally. Friendlies. More of them down there. Alright. You'd think they would be in contact with the mercenary 10 feet away from them, but no, apparently I have to do all the fighting for them. Typical. Sodding fanatics. Sometimes I question why we even tolerate them. They're not true believers, not like us. But if the situation in the forest is any indicator, we need allies desperately. A firefight up ahead is another indicator. Left side. Plenty of enemies at the sawmill. Okay, that'll work. So let's use Rest and Dead Canary. And of course the old mine. I want to explore down there a little bit when given the opportunity, but yeah, this is where they're holed up in. Cornered like rats. But rats I need to speak to. Tell me about yourself. I'm forever but a humble servant. You know, brother, I used to be an engineer for the Masters, even before the zone was created. I was one of the many who assembled the venerable generators, with no authority to speak of, and a small but important role to play in the zone's creation. When the Masters ascended to Virai, and our father, Chernobog, was let loose to carry out their will, he recruited me into the ranks of newborn sin in recognition of my part in the mission and mechanical skills. Nowadays I toil constantly to maintain the equipment of our crusaders in satisfactory conditions, so they can carry out the will of the Masters as well. Right, well I do need some equipment from you. Primarily I need a trigger for the MP412, which you don't have. And in which case, I'm going to need a Type C weapon cleaning kit. Which I know is rather expensive, but no. What can you do? No, I need that for medical supplies. It's all the stuff that's in worse condition. But I'm afraid most of these things I'm going to need, one way or another. As for the one opposite you, Stribog. I think I have some information for you, 2 PDAs. If I buy it for this one, like if I buy it for this one as well. Okay. Tell me about yourself. If you need equipment I can provide. That's all I needed to hear. I do need equipment. I need medical supplies too. Can't sell any of the guns to him. He will take mutant parts though. I don't need the VOG grenades just now. You could take the 9x18 ammo. I'm hoping that it's not something I currently need. Spike artifact as well. $22,000. Well, not bad. Not bad at all. We're gonna need that gas stove and the sleeping bag. On top of that, we're gonna need at least 4 medkits. Double set of bandages and a bag of, or a bottle of ibuprofen. And 1 thing of kerosene as well. And that... Oh, is it kerosene or a gas? Ah, kerosene. Okay, and that will put me at 10,000. So I traded basically one thing for the other. The only problem with that trade is I didn't pick up any ammo. Because he doesn't have any ammo for my gun. Well, I'm more than willing to take donations if you have them for the glory of the Monolith, and if I have to be so brutally honest, my own survival. What am I thinking? They're cornered in here. How can they possibly have anything useful? Yeah. All gone. Let's cook that meat. Putinka vodka. That's, all due honesty, probably better to cook it with that than the canteen water I have.
Прячь оружие, коли поговорить хочешь.
See if he has any. He does. That's worth it. Okay, that got the job done.
Я не собираюсь тебя ждать.
Okay. Well, that's all my immediate needs satisfied. Wondering, do they have a place to sleep in here? Not really. Okay. I'm gonna have to set up somewhere around where I'm not in the way. Yeah, it works. Not tired enough to sleep. Fair enough. You'd think after all the times I got shot it would be enough, but hey. Well, that's interesting. Where's the armor repair kit? That'll do. Take it I can't take the gun, the barrel off of this and put it into this. Probably not. Alright.
Если хочешь говорить, убери волынку.
25 rounds left in the gun. Wow. Definitely can't go through there. And definitely can't go through there. Huh, would you look at that? There is a safe way out. Well, if that's the case...
Как жизнь?
It is getting a tiny bit late. The sun's starting to set. Let's clear out the sawmill, and then we can get some rest properly. Lovely. Guess what? The bullets don't go through the fence. And I don't have grenades. Should have went for shots above their heads immediately. No, not above their heads, but above the wall over here. That should have been my entry plan. But now... I don't really see them. Oh. More painkillers. Why am I doing all of this? I have more fanatics approaching from the road. I know I hit him for a fact. All yours, lads. Nice.
Так, поглядим.
Well, we attack them from all sides, and that's what happens.
Так, поглядим.
Medkit, that's going to be useful. They killed so many of our own here. Disgraceful.
Так, поглядим.
Another one of ours.
Что тут по припасам, ага?
Shame about the SV, it's almost in good enough condition to take. Well, that'll do. Sickens me that we've lost as many brethren as we did in that mill, but I will avenge them. Now, though, I need to tend to my gear and get some sleep. Well, I'm glad to see that there's so many of us around. About time we've taken our presence in this area a little more seriously, but unfortunately for me, I can't stick around with my brothers for long. I need to get going. It's been about 12 hours. I've slept through 2 anomalies, and I also checked out that well, whatever it is, that building over there. Just a few trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Nothing overly important. I do want to check out that safe, but I have to start thinking about making a permanent base somewhere. And I'm not quite sure where that's going to be, as safe as our main base up north is. It's a bit too far away from all the action, and I'm thinking maybe a good spot for the base would be in Limansk. And the reason I need that base, well, as soon as possible pretty much, is I'm running low on ammo already. It's about 17 rounds left for this gun, and I don't have a backup, not really. And so that's a bit of a problem. Of course, now the emissions have been happening. The anomalies have moved around as well. Let's see, where is that stash? I don't expect much from it, but probably worth picking up. Now, I'm wondering if we have any presence in Limansk in terms of a more permanent base of operations. Traders, stuff like that. Well, quartermasters, more like it. Mechanics and so on. I don't think so, but Limansk would be an interesting place to set up in. There's enough action in the area to where it won't be boring, and it will be close to the front lines as a spot. On the other hand, it is secluded enough to be able to safely get there most of the time. Plus, if I am to go south and learn more about the infidels, I will need a disguise. And having a base there puts me well within range of, well, multiple enemy locations, really. Okay, where the hell is that? Left, up there. Okay, this is a good vantage point over the area up ahead, and it looks clear. I don't think there's much around. Yeah, I reckon most of the invaders will have left by now. Between the two anomalies and the Heavy losses and firefights. Yeah, they're gone alright. Okay, so the stash should be somewhere around here. What does it say? Safe near the trolley car. Reckon probably in here, right?
Надо бы быка проверить.
I'll be honest, didn't really expect to find a lurker here, but I suppose I should be glad I found it. Not the other way around. No, it's outside of the... Oh wait, no it isn't. Is that another anomaly? Or another, not anomaly, what you call it? Emission? Blowout, one of the two. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like it. Can't find that safe for the life of me, though. That's not it. I am staring at it, basically. There it is.
Что тут у нас?
Well, that's interesting. An artifact melter. Those are very useful, aren't they? Use them to fuse artifacts together. Hold the secure key to move the artifact melter over to any artifact to melt it and refill the AM tank. The more unique artifacts, the more power will be stored. Artifact empowering. Choose empower artifacts in the AMOS menu to combine artifacts of the same kind to strengthen them. Well, might as well wait out the storm first. Actually works to my advantage somewhat, because the road to the bridge will be pretty clear after all of this. So I reckon I can just head over there as soon as the storm ends. And here we are, bridge to Limansk. Like I said, after the storm, it's all quiet. Although it looks as though there was a pretty big fight here at some point. Well, anyways. Time to go through. Well, here it is. The only problem is there's another storm happening. How exactly are there two storms back to back is a little bit beyond me, but regardless, there are more important issues to discuss. Currently, I'm here. The problem is that I have to go past the hostile-controlled part of Limansk to get to friendly troops in the north. And I don't think I can do that. I genuinely don't. And these three bastards tried to sneak up to me as I was resting here, and... well, actually, that's not fair. They didn't try and sneak up. They didn't know I was here. I snuck up on them, technically, but regardless. It did cost me the rest of my 9x39 ammunition, and I'm now forced to use a half-broken pistol as my only means of self-defense. Good thing about it is that it's not in terrible condition, and I have a suppressor for it. It's also not that difficult to repair and clean. The bigger problem at hand is that I really don't think I can go through here. And even if I make it all the way to the north, what are my options? Deserted hospital, Chernobyl, and then back to Pripyat again. I need to go back to the Palace of Culture. Take no pleasure in saying that, but I have to go back home. Ammunition's gone, and so's the gear. I need to fix up my armor, I need to fix up... well, a heap of different things. Turns out, I'm just not ready for the south yet. Someone launched a flare as I went across. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen many of those. Regardless, the path is safe. It's time to head home. Because without tools and without ammunition, I am just a sitting duck out here. So, we're going to... well, we're actually going left towards radar and then back up here. Will be a long journey back home, but it will be pretty boring and safe as well.